We talked yesterday about recreational marijuana's legalization and implementation on January 1st, 2014 in Colorado. There's now a new poll, and it shows that support for legal marijuana is absolutely soaring. CNN reporting that a majority of Americans support legalizing marijuana, according to the new CNN ORC International Survey. It indicates the number of people who say smoking pot is morally wrong has also dropped dramatically. So here are the numbers. 55% of those questioned nationally say marijuana should be made legal, compared with 44% who say it should not. The Gallup poll conducted a couple of months ago showed similar numbers, a similar trend. And if you look at the change over the last 25 years, in 1987, only 16% of Americans thought that marijuana should be legal. In 96, that had jumped to 26%. In 2002, it was up to 34%. 2 years ago, it was up to 43%. And now, Lewis, 55%. Not surprisingly, if you slice the numbers up according to a few different metrics, you can see where the discrepancies are. Age. Younger respondents much more overwhelmingly favor legalization of marijuana than older respondents. Democrats and independents much more in favor of legalization than Republicans. Men slightly more in favor than women. And as we know, if we look regionally, those in the Northeast much more in favor of legalization than those in the South. The number who say marijuana is a gateway drug is also down 23 points since 1972. Colorado is a test case, Lewis. It likely will lead to more legalization in other states. And I just think that too many people, I'm not a weed guy, as I've said, this is not out of personal interest, but too many people have paid the price with jail time, with fines, with money for using marijuana or for selling it. What about a war on some of the really big problems in the country, Lewis, whether it's the jobless, whether it's 1 in 6 children going hungry? It's just unbelievable that this is still an issue.
Yeah, there's not one reason against legal marijuana, not one good one anyway. And unfortunately, it is still illegal at the federal level.
Illegal, you mean?
Illegal at the federal level, right? And states are going to have to pursue this individually. But I think that the president should step up and make a statement and say that he believes it should be legal and maybe try to make it legal at the federal level.
Editors of the National Review, okay, the conservative National Review said, quote, speaking about the prosecution of marijuana, "We make a lot of criminals while preventing very little crime, and do a great deal of harm in the course of trying to prevent an activity that presents little, if any, harm in and of itself." This is the conservative National Review, and this is a brilliant point in one way, Lewis, which is, even if you get a lot of people to admit it's true that just smoking pot or having it shouldn't be a crime, but look at all of the violence that is created around the sale of marijuana. That's not because of anything relating to marijuana itself. That's because of when it is illegal, the system that is created for sale, cultivation, and distribution lends itself to people having guns, to violence, to extortion, etc. There's nothing specific about marijuana as a plant, Lewis, that leads to violence.
Of course. Actually, it's probably just the opposite. It would probably lead to less violence if people were getting stoned all the time.